Hannah, can I get an interview?
No, I'm busy. I think there might be more Cliff Bars. I hope I don't.
They're more Cliff. Do you have Cliff Bars shoved in there?
I think it goes all the way up. I think my Cliff Bars are stuck.
I feel like this company of Loose Riders basically had a feeling that they would meet me eventually, and they just designed a bunch of jerseys.
It seriously like matches your helmet.
It wheelies well. That's always a good sign. This is the price point. For $5,000, you get a carbon frame and carbon wheels. Hey, Hannah, it's time to ride.
Can't get out. Let's do this. Let's go. It's time to ride, boys. Oh.
If you guys can tell, we're losing our minds. Today is chore day. Also, Hannah was feeling pretty sick earlier, so she's just been lounging around. And obviously, I'm trying to keep up with the chores. I just did all the laundry. We got to put it all away. And I'm trying my best here. We are gonna get on the trails and test ride those Specialized Stumpjumpers. We've been putting them through the paces the last couple of days, but today is gonna be a little bit more extensive testing as well as some filming as well. So, what are you doing there, Hannah?
I'm trying to get the mosquito. Ow! I'm trying to get the mosquitoes. There's too many. They're eating me alive.
You think maybe you need a shower?
I don't think mosquitoes. What do they prefer?
I don't know. Does anyone know?
I know they like my blood type. For sure.
Is that a thing? Does anyone know, like, what's the secret to mosquitoes?
Start with like repellent, like tea tree oil or something.
Maybe, I don't know. Let us know in the comment section. But you know what? Let's get to the bikes. That's why you guys are here. This is the Stumpjumper Expert build. Like I said, the color is really rad. Let's go over the actual build though. So for $5,000 MSRP, you get those carbon Roval wheels. I was pretty shocked to figure out those were carbon because, I mean, $5,000 carbon frame, carbon wheels, really awesome. But so the carbon Roval wheels, you get a Pike RC fork, Guide RS brakes. Not the biggest fan of these brakes or that fork, but we'll get into that a little bit later. You get a Monarch rear shock on there, and you also get GX Eagle. And all you guys know, Hannah loves the Eagle.
Oh yeah.
I'm a little torn. I still am not the biggest fan of Eagle, but haven't really found the drivetrain that I'm 100% sold on. I did ride the new XTR 12-speed. I'll bring you guys a review later on, but overall, really rad builds. Let's talk about one thing that I feel like is the awkward elephant in the room. You want to lower that saddle? Oh. Here, let's put this on there.
Yeah.
I feel like we gotta put the.
That's gonna be a little dangerous.
It's gonna be a little. All right. Whoa. So that is the only awkward part. Is it does have the specialized command post. I'm not the biggest fan of the post just because it isn't a infinite dropper post, meaning that it will only go down to, I believe, 2 or 3 set positions. And so for me, like, I really like wheeling, manualing. On technical climbs, I like to lower and raise my saddle just slightly. Kind of a little tougher to do on this saddle, and it also goes up really fast. But other than that, I've been really stoked on this build overall, like just initial impressions. It climbs really well. I haven't had to essentially lock out that rear shock. So a very efficient pedaler. I would say the head angle, a little steeper than I'm used to, but at the same time, it definitely gives the bike a nice responsive front end. And the rear end of the bike is very stable, especially at high speed. So that active suspension design is definitely present on the downhills. What do you think about the bike so far?
So far, I'm really digging it. I've only taken it on a couple laps. It goes really fast.
Downhill or uphill?
And both, actually. Downhill, it's pretty fast as well. I do wish there was DVO on this. Shout out to Bryson.
Shout out Bryson. Bryson, we know you're watching these videos, and for you guys, just a disclosure, we do ride DVO, but let's go to my personal favorite part of these bikes. So it's actually this thing right here. And for those of you who may never have ridden a Specialized, this is called the Swat system, I believe. Specialized, I'm sorry if I butchered that, but you have that tool on the bottom of the water bottle cage, which just having the bottle cage is an impressive feat as it is nowadays. I feel like some companies like just don't get it right and they don't put the bottle cage in. You need a bottle cage. It's 2019, but other than that, so this thing actually will clip like this. This will come out, and then you have storage inside of the frame. So I have like a tube, a multi-tool, all that stuff inside of my frame, so you don't need a fanny pack and you can still carry all of the goods. Hannah, what do you got in yours? You got like a tube or no? What? No, let's check it out. No, let's check it out. Why are you? No, let's check this out. What has Hannah got in hers?
We don't need a look.
What is?
I'm fully stocked.
How many? Oh my God! Is there more? Wait a minute. Is there? Oh my God, Hannah! What is this? There's more. What is going? Is that all of them? Where's your tube?
You have one, don't you?
No.
I have all these Cliff Bars, so if I get flats, which I probably
Are you
will.
planning on bargaining with people?
No, I'll eat a Cliff Bar and wait for you to come up the trail and fix my tube.
Can I have one of those, or?
Oh no.
Wouldn't is that you're gonna lose the stick in there?
I think there might be more Cliff Bars. I hope I don't.
They're more Cliff. Do you have Cliff Bars shoved in there?
I think it goes all the way up. I think my Cliff Bars are stuck.
Let's bounce the frame.
Is it just this?
Oh, that's another Cliff Bar.
Oh my god, there's more. I really got carried away.
You really did. So anyways, that's enough of us talking. Let's go hit the trails and get some shredding on these bikes. Ew.
Also, I think we need to show you guys something.
This is, how rad are these?
Legendary.
What are these?
Oh my gosh, it looks so cool on film too.
Really?
The color like really stands out well.
I feel like this company, Loose Riders, basically had a feeling that they would meet me eventually, and they just designed a bunch of jerseys.
It seriously like matches your helmet too.
I know, so
that's pretty rad. Yeah.
Shout out to Loose Riders, really awesome jersey. Oh, it wheelies well. That's always a good sign. Woo! Manual as well too.
My turn.
Here we go. The Hannah wheelie challenge. Oh, almost. Oh, that was actually really long, yeah.
Slow-mo it. Oh, I got you.
Hannah, can I get an interview?
No, I'm busy.
You're busy. Yeah, man, she's fast.
Phew!
So for my review of the Specialized Stumpjumper, the Specialized Stumpjumper was a bike that definitely exceeded my expectations. So even though I've known that Specialized definitely has somewhat of a cult-like following, people who ride Specialized bikes absolutely love them. They have amazing athletes riding for them, and they have a lot of really good people working over there as well. I still didn't want to give my full opinion on their bikes until I really put one through the ringer properly, and after riding the Stumpjumper these last couple of days, I'll definitely say that I'm drinking the Kool-Aid here. It definitely performed really well both up and down. In terms of climbing, very efficient climber. Even though it has a somewhat active suspension design, I didn't feel that much bob on the climbs. Definitely was probably one of the more efficient climbing trail style bike in the 140 mil travel spectrum. With that being said, it didn't have a Fox DPX2 or a DVO Topaz or something with a Piggy or maybe even an X2, so I can't speak too much to that spectrum because it did have a shock that should make it pedal a little bit more efficient, but at the same time, the seat angle, the head angle, just everything felt really right on the climbs. The chainstay is a little on the shorter side as well, so you can really make those switchbacks nicely. For the downhill, the bike rode very stable, and it being a little bit more of an active suspension design, the bike definitely stuck to the ground. And I would say, like I said, doesn't have that fancy of a rear shock. The bike still stayed planted, especially at high speeds. We were riding a lot of stuff that was very rooty, and I expected the bike like that with that rear shock to maybe get bucked a little bit more so, but nope, the bike stayed planted. So the suspension design was really nice, very stable at higher speeds. The only thing is, even though the rear felt really stable, the front end did feel a tad twitchy. And I will say that the front end felt a little bit higher than I'm used to, so I got to look at the head angle on that bike. But I will say that overall, very responsive when it comes to the downhill. So that's, I guess, the trade-off. When you go a little bit higher, a little bit steeper on that head angle, you get a nice responsive front end of the bike on the downhills when it comes to like corners and putting the bike exactly where you want it. So very precise, nice and responsive. The suspension design helped the bike stick to the ground. A couple of really cool things on that bike, that Swat box I'm a huge fan of. I definitely think that's something that, I don't know, it could make or break it for a lot of customers out there. Essentially, you can basically get rid of the pack altogether. You have everything on your frame. The other thing with the bike is the price point. For $5,000, you get a carbon frame and carbon wheels, which I thought was really good. At the same time, if it was me personally, I probably would skip on the carbon wheels and maybe upgrade that rear shock. I'm also not a fan of those brakes, the Guide R's, and that dropper post to me would probably have to go as well. I'd probably put something. I've actually been testing the bike yoke, and that one's felt really good. The Fox Transfer is obviously always going to be one of my favorite posts just because it's been so reliable. To summarize it all, very stable, precise bike on the downhills. Those chainstays are nice and tight, so it's going to still stay crisp in those corners, but at the same time, the suspension design is going to help it keep it stuck to the ground. Really nice price point, climbs really well. So I guess if I had a cup of imaginary Kool-Aid, I'd be drinking the Specialized Kool-Aid. But that's my review on the Specialized Stumpy. Ew.